Hello, and welcome to the Brothers and Sisters Like These podcast. I'm your host, Brother Emiliano. Today, our guest is Cory Merritt, co founder and board member of the Special Liberty Project. Brother Cory, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brother E. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Good. It's good to have you. So, Brother Cory, please give the viewers some background information into SLP, like its mission and its vision.
Sure. The mission of the Special Liberty Project is to foster a supportive community for Gold Star families and healing veterans, connecting them with nature through outdoor experiences that promote camaraderie, resilience, and well-being. We really just like being outdoors and being with people who can share experiences that have maybe shared similar trauma or similar hardship and can talk about those experiences together in nature. And, our vision is really just veterans and their families find healing, support, and joy, that they can reconnect beyond service life and keep that veteran family together and healing as a group. That's really what we
That's it in
do.
a nutshell. Yeah, that's a great mission and
Yeah.
a great vision. In terms of a program overview, how would you describe that?
Yeah. So what we really our main program and what we try to facilitate the majority of in Western North Carolina is our Gold Star Widows Retreat program, where we bring Gold Star Widows to our property to experience the beauty of Western North Carolina. We've created this beautiful retreat center for them where they stay in these glamping tents and they're having these outdoor therapeutic experiences, getting involved in local small town community, and just enjoying the bounty that we have in Western North Carolina. And it also puts those people in an environment together. They can meet each other, learn from each other. We have had most of our contacts made being passed along from connections made here, and individuals becoming groups and getting to know each other, and then bringing other people into those groups. So that's a wonderful thing to be able to foster and facilitate and just be part of. And we're really proud to kind of create a space here where we can do that, or at least we're trying to do that. Yeah.
And tell me, where are you? You're in Macon County in Franklin.
That's
and
right.
Tell me a little bit about your location. It's about an hour, less than an hour and a half southwest of Asheville Airport, through I-40 and US 23 South. Tell me a little bit about your actual location, because I've seen it. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. So we are in Franklin, North Carolina. Yeah, up on Onion Mountain is the name of our particular area. There's little onions that grow out of the ground everywhere, and we have 30 acres up here, and it's all mountainous and lots of flowing water on the property, and it is just enough out of town to where you kind of feel like you're in the woods a little bit, but you can get a pizza delivered if you really want to. We've actually had people call and order what is that food delivery services, right to the glamping tents. But we have 6 horses on the property, or 5 horses and a donkey, and that's in a pasture setting around this kind of communal barn that we do a lot of activities in. We're actually going to do a fundraiser there this week, and we try to incorporate the property into the activities as much as we can. But it really is a beautiful space. We're homesteaders as a family, so we try to grow as much food and keep the property as nice as we can. Always trying to make it better and live with the property. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I've seen how you have tents set up for people who are staying overnight for 2-3 days. They're arrayed in a very nice way. You recently had them cleaned, or somewhat recently had them cleaned by a local company.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, how the overnight stuff works when you do an event.
Sure. So our overnight retreats is for our Gold Star Widows program, and what we're doing is we're bringing them in and allowing them to stay for a long weekend. In the Navy, I'm a Navy guy myself, and in the Navy, when you get a long weekend, that's called Special Liberty. So that was kind of the cornerstone of the Special Liberty Project. How we came up with that idea. Let's give them this long weekend to kind of relax and they're have a therapeutic weekend. So they stay in these tents that are kind of in the wild, in the woods. Some of these widows have never even seen a spider outdoors before, But once you get inside, they're beautiful. My wife Jessica's done an excellent job. They're decorated, and it's a bed frame with a mattress and linens, and there's soft chairs and everything. So the coin term is glamping, but we've made it feel homey and still feel like you're having the outdoor experience. We did a beautiful little bathhouse, and you can just really enjoy the area. So
Great. Tell me, how did you become involved? And since you're a founder, what motivated you to start this project?
I was active duty Navy in San Diego, and we were very involved in the veteran community there, and I got asked to kind of participate in some of these events in the community as a veteran excuse me, as an active duty guy with veterans and even some Gold Star families. And I kind of saw how some of these organizations were doing it and what was going on, and I just thought, honestly, we could do it better. I thought we could connect closer. We could meet these people, like get to know them and kind of bring them into our lives. And I brought that idea home to Jessica, and she just ran with it. My wife has done an amazing job of taking this organization into what was kind of initially like outdoor adventures for veterans, to bringing in this wonderful veteran family of Gold Star widows and Gold Star moms, and kind of bringing the nourishing side of the organization in, and it's really grown from there. So it was a need that we experienced and saw, and knew that we could connect with it, and just kind of our heart was in it.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Brother
Of
Cory.
course.
I always like to have our listeners know a little bit about our guest's origin story. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, sure. So my wife and I actually met in high school. So we've been together for a very long time, and that was in Detroit, Michigan, and just north of there, really. Troy, Michigan, is the city, and we went through a 21 year military together. So my whole life has really been with this amazing woman, my wife Jessica. So from there, yeah, I joined the Navy for right out of high school, and I decided to do this crazy job where you jump out of helicopters and rescue pilots in the ocean. So I was a Navy search and rescue swimmer. So I have a lot of time in the back of helicopters and doing a lot of crazy stuff, which is very hard on a family and yourself, honestly. Um, and
Mhm.
so it's been a very interesting journey that kind of brought us on this path of helping other veteran families, because for a long time we didn't even recognize ourselves uh, as anything other than ourselves. We never thought
Mhm.
about some of the things that we're trying to help other people with. We as a family are also going through. So, we started to have conversations as a family about mental health and PTSD and emotional intelligence and how important these things are. And it's kind of helped us on this path of being better facilitators of healing. So I was very lucky to have my military story published by an author. So I got in a book, and he kind of opened my eyes. He wrote a book
Lost you. Can you hear me?
about trauma, and how we respond to it and what we go through. And I had a very interesting incident. I went over to the tsunami in Indonesia in 2004, and I actually crashed a helicopter there. And I crashed a helicopter with a whole bunch of people on board in the middle of this crazy disaster, natural disaster, tsunami that we were doing 30 days straight of very intense operational rescue flying. So I kind of had like this double traumatic thing happen to me. I was 21 years old at the time, right? I was like ready to go. And I crushed 16, 17 more years of a career after that. And I didn't even like give that a thought, you know? And then I get out of the Navy as a veteran now, and I'm like starting to move forward and all those things we're talking about. And this guy brings up this story, and it was a very interesting journey and kind of place that's put me where I am now. I retired basically 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, I was in the back of a helicopter jumping out of it, and I wouldn't have had a conversation about PTSD or mental health with anybody. I just didn't have those conversations. That wasn't how things worked, you know. But now I'm in this world where not only do I get to talk about it, but maybe I'm even invited by someone like Brother E to have a conversation about it with other people and like expose that this is important stuff that we need to talk about and be aware of, and we all need to help each other with it. So yeah,
Excellent.
so that's kind of where I am now. I'm very excited to be supporting Jessica, honestly, in her vision of what we do here. I just try to keep up with her and the progress she makes every day. And really, I just try to be the veteran voice and the veteran side of the organization, where Jessica, thankfully, can be the veteran family and veteran spouse side of it, which a lot of people underestimate dramatically and how important that is, especially in the healing process. So, yeah, I just get to talk with veterans now and hang out with veterans and have conversations like this, and things are pretty good.
Good. Excellent. Very interesting story, remarkable journey and path. And it looks like you're in a place, and so is your wife, where you've seen an emotional need for veterans, and now you're in a place where you can actually start giving back, which is a pretty common theme for a lot of nonprofits. A lot of nonprofits have this same kind of origin story where they see a need and they've been able to overcome it in their personal lives and want to help others do the same. So for me, the same way with brothers and sisters, as I've found that journaling and writing has helped me process a lot of my trauma as a combat veteran. I wanted to help by being a board member. So
100%.
going
If
back,
I could say one more thing on that too, brother,
absolutely, yeah,
it's interesting
yeah.
because I've heard that comment and conversation a lot, and giving back's a great word for it. But I think of it almost as service, like continuing to serve. I know it's a little cheesy, but I really do. We all wanted to like kind of keep. Well, most of us want to keep going afterwards and keep being part of that, and this is a way to be part of that. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's a way of serving, continuing serving. Don't really feel like, even though we're separated necessarily, that we're still not soldiers and sailors and Marines and airmen. So I totally understand that, and I agree with you. I think that's actually exactly how a lot of us do feel.
Yeah. Well said.
So, so, you have some great programs and opportunities that you guys offer. Could you talk to us about some of them?
Absolutely. I'll kind of run through our list of programs. That'll be the easiest way to do it. So, right off the bat, we have this program called our SERVES program. And that's kind of our best reoccurring, most often program. And that's our series of equine retreats for veteran spouses. And I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but we do the acronym thing and then we just call it SERVES, and it's easier. But, just in the name, it makes sense. So, what we're really talking about is a program specifically for veteran spouses. And that's an example of in our community where we saw a need and we enacted it. So it just allows the spouse to come in and have conversations with other spouses about things that may be going on or things that they've experienced. Even, oh, hey, I got this experience from a VA claim. Maybe you should try this, even simple stuff like that. But we do all that around our horses. So it's really connection and communication, things that you can get by just being around a horse if it's properly facilitated. So That's a great event. It's very easy to show up for. It's very easy to participate in. Jessica does a great job. There's usually a lunch and then some kind of mindful activity. She's done all kinds of things, but we're very crafty people, and she always comes up with something awesome for that as well. And you get to hang out with some horses, so it's a good one. The program that I try to keep as my bread and butter is our vets program, Veterans Exploring Together. We do a monthly hike where we try to experience Western North Carolina, the beauty of it, waterfalls, mountains, and just get people out in places that they may not have even seen, even though it's 20 or 30 minutes away from them. Um, and that's the cornerstone of it. But we take that into all kinds of different branches, kind of based on availability. So we've done like 2-day fly fishing retreats. We've done pig hunts at Fort Benning in Georgia. We do just backpacking trips. We went to Panther Town, backpack in, stayed for a couple nights, backpacked out. I'd love to get on the AT at some point. Those are the kinds of things, just like the name sounds, it's Veterans Exploring Together, right? And that program kind of speaks for itself. But, what we're really talking about is it's camaraderie, it's connection, it's a little bit of razzing on the trail because maybe you haven't been on the trail in a little bit, and that's both good for you and motivates you and get you going again. So it's a great program, and it's constantly changing, so you can kind of keep your eye on it. And I'll wrap up with how to get a hold of all this stuff at the end, but it's a very easy one to pay attention to, and maybe you're interested in one thing and not another, and you can go check it out. So our Gold Star family retreats, we've talked about that, but what we're really talking about is about 6 to 8 Gold Star military widows coming on the property, staying in our glamping retreat center, enjoying Franklin, enjoying Western North Carolina, enjoying each other. And we, of course, use our horses for that program as well, and the beautiful property. They kind of get to experience most of it. Jessica has done a great job of facilitating kind of a guided hike through the woods with different mindful activities along the hike. So things that we can even do on the property to kind of facilitate enjoying nature and healing. Our mini acts of kindness program is a very fun program. This is really the lead on this is my 15-year-old daughter, Charlie Merritt. She has taken 2 of our horses, our mini horses, and we have a mini donkey. So she's trained these horses to be able to have these little shoes on them and poop bags and go into assisted living facilities because there's a large veteran community that can't get out of bed. That's just a matter of fact, right? So there are programs where people go to their homes and things like that, and those are great, and please do that if you can. So we're trying to get to them when they can't get to us, and so we bring these mini horses into these assisted living facilities and engage with these veterans, and it's amazing. I mean, some of these veterans haven't even gotten out of bed in a long time, you know what I mean? Or they probably haven't gone outside in a long time. So if anything, it's just getting that going, and I'm telling you, you can be the most hardened man out there, and you'll pet a pony and smile. It's just impossible not to. So it's a great program. And then every week we open up the farm for anyone who wants to come help volunteering. And volunteering can look like all kinds of different things. If you have something in particular you want to do, please let us know. But, we have a lot to do. We have a functioning farm, we have a retreat center, and we have horses. So the horses in particular are the focus of most of it. People really enjoy just grooming the horses, cleaning the stalls, walking them in the pasture, whatever. But there's lots of other things to do on the farm. And sometimes we do, projects that need to be done and things like that as well. So that's our weekly volunteer day at the farm. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you have a lot of activities. Have your daughter, do you just have one daughter?
I have twins, 15-year-old twins, a boy and a girl.
Is he involved as well
Well, everybody in the family is involved. That is
in some
that
way
is
or
that is,
shape,
yeah,
especially
of
if you're
course.
homesteaders, right?
Yes,
In one way or
my
form.
daughter is homeschooled, so she gets to participate a lot more. My son goes to the early college, so he's a little bit more tied up.
That must be a very interesting experience for her, for your daughter to actually go with this Horse Mini Acts of Kindness program. Must be very an eye-opening experience, and probably shows a lot about how you guys have raised her in terms of values and morals and stuff. So very interesting at this age to be able to be exposed to something so nourishing like that. I think that's an amazing thing for her personally growing
Thank
up,
you.
as you know, as well as what can be given back to the veteran community
Right.
with that. So um, now we've met our two organizations through a friend we have that's on your board who's also a member of Brothers and Sisters Like These, Donna Culp, who recently went on a Blue Ridge Honor flight. Quite busy and very involved with Ukraine and
Yeah.
supporting, just very, very busy. So it's a
Yeah.
small world.
Donna's amazing. She told me some of her Ukraine stories, and I was like, "Holy mackerel, lady, you are
Yeah.
serious." She is very
Yeah.
committed.
Yep. And so I thank her for getting us to connect and staying on that theme of connecting. How are ways that brothers and sisters like these, how can we facilitate and coordinate with SLP to enhance your experiences for your participants?
Sure. So I think there's lots of connections between brothers and sisters like these and SLP, but mindfulness is the one that definitely comes to hits the closest home. So I think you guys are doing an incredible thing that I would love to learn more about. SLP would love to learn more about, and just incorporate in. We already understand journaling, the therapy in it, the truth in it, and how important it is. And that's just we're just the tip of the iceberg on that, right? So I think a connection could take that all kinds of directions, and you guys could help us understand the therapy in writing, the healing in writing, much more beyond just the benefit of journaling, and not devaluing that by any means. So let's just keep connecting as much as we can. Try to get brothers and sisters like these with our widows directly, and get some tools in their toolbox to promote healing. I mean, and listen, veterans too. I don't know. I mean, I guess they can already go to you guys directly. I guess anybody can go to you guys directly, but we have groups at time periods that I think if we bring you guys in, both on the veteran side and the widows side, I think we can do some
So
solid work.
yeah, our viewers know this, but it's always helpful to remind everybody that originally this organization was Brothers Like These,
Right.
and then the members decided to make a nonprofit group separate, and then it became the first. We've had three books. Our third book is about to publish right now, stories of veterans, and the first one was just Brothers Like These, and then it became Brothers and Sisters Like These. So we've been doing this for 10 years. We've had many years of experience with soldiers, female soldiers, and now we're opening up to first responders as well. And among our membership, we also have Gold Star mothers and surviving spouses. And so that will help you guys because we already are well prepared and well versed in that kind of population.
Sure.
So we look to also opening up through Blue Ridge Honor Flights to Gold Star members. We have a member who's also a board member with Blue Ridge Honor Flights, and I think that could be a great opportunity to try to see if how we could get you guys involved in that program too, since you do so much with Gold Star members.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man. I was intimately connected with this just a couple of years ago, I know I'm nobody now, but women in combat is definitely a thing. It is happening right now, whether people know it or not. Especially in elite units, there are women in elite units on active duty right now doing all kinds of stuff. So that is definitely the exact same need, and cannot be forgotten.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, of course.
I personally was with Captain Hampton, who was the first female combat pilot who was killed in action in Fallujah in January of 2004. Um, and now it's only, I don't know, by a factor of like 10 in terms of how they are in our military. So
Right.
for a lot of the older veterans who times have really changed, and women are a complete from A to Z part of our military. And so we are very keen on representing them and anybody else. Our staple here is that if you're good enough to serve in the military, then we're good enough to help you,
Staying right.
post military.
Staying
We're not
right.
here to judge anybody. And it looks like you guys have the same type of working philosophy.
Yeah, we joke a lot, even like, I'm going to give an army guy a hard time every day of the week. That's just how it works, you know what I mean? But the veteran community has to stick together 100% because we are a family and we are the only people taking care of each other. No one else is going to, I mean, people are, of course, I'm not, the world loves us, but we have to take care of each other and focus on the things that are important to us because we understand them the most.
That's right. And we have to advocate for ourselves and for
Yeah.
others. And Brothers and Sisters promotes the marginalized portions of veterans in society, which are still underrepresented as veterans. And we just want to increase their participation of what could take 20 years, maybe just 10 or 5 years. That's our goal.
Good
So
job, brother E. That's awesome,
I'm
man. Good for
trying,
you
I'm
guys.
trying, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like you guys are already doing a significant part of supporting people like Gold Star who have given so much and are often not recognized enough, in my opinion. And so you guys give them an awesome space to kind of promote healing and make them not feel like they're alone amongst other women or members who have had the same type of sacrifice and pain, and that can be very rewarding for them. And so it's great that you guys have done this, and it's a testament to kind of who you are and who your wife Jessica is as people. So good for y'all.
Yeah. Thank you. Can I add one thing on that? And this is just
Absolutely.
a kind of, believe it or not, there are some military widows out there whose the service member passed because of PTSD and they didn't get a gold star rating on that. Unfortunately, we have received phone calls where they're like, "This is my story, but I'm not gold star rated." I'm like, "Man, that's a tragedy." PTSD suicide is 100% a problem tied to military service, and the fact that there's some kind of bureaucracy stopping that is terrible. So that's, I guess, just like a public service announcement, like,
No,
please.
thank you. That's and that's shows our listeners where we need to advocate behind the scenes with politicians and other nonprofits to make that aware. I'll give you an example.
2 wins for you. Good job. That's
Yeah.
good.
Uh, I had a soldier who was shot in the chest, and it, went through his hand into his plate. He was okay, but I mean that, along with other combat scenarios, can really shake you up. And if you get a drinking problem afterwards, and you're separated from the military without understanding that your drinking problem is connected to your PTSD, it's not really a service to anybody, and it undermines the sacrifice that we've made. So I know the VA has changed some of those ways that you can reach out to them, and if you've had other than honorable discharge and stuff. But
Sure.
the point is that drug and alcohol abuse and unproductive behaviors are part of what happens to people when they're exposed to this kind of trauma, whether it be combat or simply environmental trauma from training or from real world experiences like you've had. So there's several facets that we really have to work on, and we're the only ones who will advocate it because we know there, we've been there, we've done it, and we've if we haven't done it
That's right.
ourselves, we've witnessed it. I was lucky enough to come out in one piece and with an honorable discharge, but some of my friends were not, and it's quite a shame. So I hope that we can make changes so that future generations of soldiers and warfighters won't have to go through those experiences as well.
Yeah, it's good,
All right.
man.
Well, moving on. Let's tell us our listeners some of the events that you'll have upcoming
Yep.
on your roster, on your schedule.
Our serves event is monthly, and we usually do those on Sundays. Our vet event is monthly, and they're kind of random. And then our veteran volunteer day is every Friday at 3 p.m. So that's kind of the easy one to start off with. Every Friday at 3 p.m. On the farm is our volunteer day. So you can uh, check the website, and we'll plug all that at the end for updates on that. But that is the reoccurring norm here, and you can kind of lock that into your calendar. May 18th, we have equine retreats for wives of veterans, and that is our serves event. And then May 31st, Hurricane Creek Veteran Campout. Okay, so that'll be our Veterans Exploring Together group, and May 31st. Up at Standing Indian here in Western North Carolina. And there's a campground there called Hurricane Creek, and that would be a registered you need to register for that event. But the Veterans Exploring Together event always publishes what hike we're doing, where we're going, or whatever additional event it may be, like if it was a fly fishing or a backpacking trip. Um, July 8th is our next military based widows retreat. And that is something that if people are interested in, they can get involved with different ways. You can provide a service if there's something that you wanted to do for this event. We're always interested in people contacting us about that. You could, of course, sponsor an event if that was something you were interested in as well. That is what we have on the calendar at the moment. So let me go ahead, if it's okay, Brother Ian, plug
Mm-hmm.
the website and stuff. So
Absolutely.
speciallibertyproject.org is our website, and we've just revamped it. It's very nice. We have a lot of information about all of the programs that I just talked about. You can jump into each program and kind of look at the services we provide within that program. And then we have an events page where some of the things that I very poorly just listed out to you will be displayed, and most importantly, that you can sign up for them if it is something you're interested in. It also has, of course, Jessica and I's contact information on there, so you can reach out to us. Email is usually the best, and then we also kind of have a little bio and story of Jessica and I and the family and the team. We have a little team that helps us out here in Western North Carolina. And then we try to, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, staying on the social media type, if you wanted to get in other ways that we can reach out to you or know more about you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, we try to stay pretty active on social media. So Facebook and Instagram are our two main social media platforms, and it's just Special Liberty Project on both of those. We recommend you follow us not only if you're looking for events, but we just talk about what we do a lot. We show the daily activities, we show the events, we put feedback on there, talk about how our programs impact the people we support and the community. So it's a benefit for sure. And then on our website, we have a newsletter, a monthly newsletter that we send out that talks about all our programs, all our impacts. We try to, again, the information that we're trying to pass along.
And if we wanted to support your organization, what are some of the ways we could do through, say, merchandise or donating? How can we have access to that? How can we do that?
Sure. Thank you, brother. Yeah. So we have a great little shop on our website for merch. Everybody loves merch, and we've really put some time and effort into it. It's pretty good stuff. Yeah, of course, exactly. So shirts, hats, water bottles, all that stuff's on there. It ships very quickly, and it does help us out at the Special Liberty Project. We also have like the Donate Now button. If you're interested in contributing and supporting the cause, you can do that directly through the website. And we have a lot of local fundraisers. So I had mentioned we have one this Thursday here on the property. That's kind of our annual event. But we try to get out in town, maybe like Currahee or something at the park, and just try to get people to concerts, things like that. Try to get people involved in fundraising for the organization. So those events would be communicated all the same way: newsletter, website, and social media.
And so there's a lot of ways that we can support you guys. Also, one of them, which I'm sure you would appreciate very much, is volunteer work that you already have, but it's always good to have more and keep a steady flow of that. And people do not have to be horse whisperers to volunteer, do they? Talk a
No, of
little
course
bit about
not.
some of
We
the things
take
they
all
could
skill sets.
tell us. Some of the things that people could how they could volunteer, so we could see what kind of services
It's a
could
great
be needed.
question. I have learned that if you have a way you want to contribute, that is the best way to support. We've had people be like, I sew alpaca wool socks. And I'm like, okay. And Jessica, next thing you know, she's got widows sewing alpaca wool socks, and people loved it, right? So you never know what's going to walk in the door. So if you have an idea, please bring it to us, and we would be happy to support you in supporting us with it. But basic farm stuff day to day is really the grind that we need the support with. Anytime, 6 horses is a lot, pasture management is a lot, barn. So and people like that. They like coming and seeing the horses. They like getting involved. Put your muck boots on or whatever. But if you just want to groom a pony for an hour, come on out.
Well, that's also kind of that's a great point you're making, because it is very nice to be around horses and take care of them. There's something therapeutic for us to do that individually as people, let alone if doing it to help your group, which helps others. So there's a lot of good reasons why helping out with labor is very beneficial for all parties involved.
Absolutely. And it's interesting, Jessica's obviously the expert on this, and I don't even ride horses. So, I'm more of a stall boy. So but I have learned through Jessica and through these programs, by listening and getting involved, that horses 100% know when you are not being straight up, right? If you are all amped up and you're trying to hide it, or you got something going on, or you're just not clear walking into that, man, they know that before you even know that, right? So they are very honest with how you have to be with yourself, right? You go up to a horse, you try to actually connect to a horse. You have to be real clear on where you're at before you do that. It's
That's
interesting.
right. It
Yeah,
is. And one thing that I like about uh, therapy that is done with other animals, regardless of the type,
sure.
is that a lot of times people that have trauma, whether it's veterans or Gold Star or first responders, there's a loss of sense of self worth, a loss of control, and feeling that you can help another animal or help another organization, even if you can't do it being a subject matter expert, but just helping taking care of the horses. It's very empowering and does help with your self esteem and feeling that you're contributing in some way that you wouldn't have necessarily thought you were capable of doing. And so it's very, very helpful on a personal level to work with animals that are service related, even if you don't directly need it or actually helping somebody. But just helping the animal is really good for the individual soul of whoever's working with them. I've noticed that in my personal life. I'm sure you've seen it. You're a test to it every day.
It's 100% true, and you're right. It could be really any animal. The mindset and the process is the same. Yeah, yeah. Get a dog; they're
Okay.
good for you.
Yeah, well, if I had room for horses, I would.
Right. Well,
Neighbor
I don't have
has
room
all
for
sorts of
horses, and I
stuff.
have horses.
Exactly. Well, listen, brother Cory, our time has come to an end. I thank you for being on the show, and I know you have just a beautiful thing going on. I'm very excited about how brothers and sisters like these can be a force multiplier to your organization. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come talk to us. And as always, to our guest, the last word.
Oh, well, thank you, Brother E. That was wonderful. I have a little something I'd like to say. So, I have learned that a lot of people have a lot of trauma, right? People carry a lot of stuff, and I learned in learning that to not judge, and a better word for that is grace. Try to give everyone grace with their trauma. Try to understand what they're dealing with as you go into it. And it's a much better way to approach things. So,
That's beautiful, very powerful. Brother Cory and the listeners, take care to the next one.
thank you.